Hi all, back at my keeper again, and apparently some prisoners have escaped. Okay, some of you will know what this mission is, and it's basically an elite daily. So pretty easy to complete for most characters. So if you look there, I want a prisoner mission. So we grab that. Now then, before you charge off to go and kill a prisoner, do read it. You need to talk to an NPC in West Athens. So that's where we're going next. Now this is worth the same XP or research as a regular daily, and it may be slightly longer winded, but it's still pretty easy to do. But there's a couple of steps that people seem to forget to do and end up having to repeat the mission. So first of all, we're getting to West Athens, and here we are in West Athens. Over the walls. And this is the guy we need to speak to, Warden Yates. Or Warden Staines, maybe. I don't know, I've never really... In Welsh it's Staines, but never mind. We tell him we're at our service. Now then, a little word about prisoners. They all do different things. I will generally not do the silenced or spiritual, is it? Because they have a debuff which will clear out your currently running buffs, so you're left with almost none, and on a keeper that's basically a real pain. Now the least problematic one to kill is the dangerous, but he's also one of the furthest to get to, so I generally go for diseased. So that's what we've done there. Now then, if we look at the mission, it doesn't give us a location to go to, but I know where it is, so we need to head back into the grid. Okay, so we're now in the grid, and we are going to go somewhere a bit different. We're going to go to 2HO. Now, before I do that, I should mention, when you get to 2HO, it is a omni-controlled area permanently. It's part of the game. And there is a 25% gas. So, on top of guards attacking you, players, if you're not quick enough to the wampers, can also attack you. So, I'm going to enter. I feel pretty safe on this keeper. Okay, and once we materialize, we need to run east. And we're going to take a wamper over here. Ooh, they've changed them, haven't they? Yeah, maybe it is that, and they've just renamed it. Okay, let's go Southern Artery Valley. Yeah, it used to just be called Outpost 10-3. And then we want to go to 20k. Whew. So if you run the gauntlet there and not had any problems, as I've said before, I use a player-made map, and if I zoom all the way in until clicking zoom in doesn't do anything, you can see there's an extra layer of information. There's the silence prisoner, but as I say, he has a debuff, which means I will spend nearly as long rebuffing on a keeper. You just do. As I would killing him. So I'm going to go to the diseased, who never really presents too much of a problem. And to get there, we're going to yalm up, and away we go. And he's basically dead northeast. Right, so after we zone, the game will generally change your direction, so just double check you've got your bearings right. And we're going to fly over this way. Now, when you get there, quite often there's people already there waiting for this spawn, and more often than not, if you just sort of wave and say, hey, here for the daily, you might as well all join team and all kill the mob together, as opposed to see who can do the most damage, etc, etc. So we're just going down to see if he's there. And he's not, which means he has been killed. Now, there is no corpse here, so I don't know how long ago he was killed. So we could be waiting 2 minutes, we could be waiting 5 minutes, but he literally spawns right here in this bottom of this sort of a cliff here. Now, like all prisoners, he won't actually aggro you, regardless of level or faction, unless you aggro him first. So we're just, while we wait, we're just going to throw on a few buffs. If it takes longer than 3 minutes, I will pause the video and carry on again when he does spawn. It's also worth mentioning that he does have, and all the prisoners have, a few drops. Now, if you head over to Anarchy Online Universe, that's AOU, you'll hear me referring to, you'll find out what those drops actually are. For Shades, he drops a Medi Blade, which is extremely useful for sort of 205 plus, I think. Most Shades can get one on, and an upgrade for it to make it do even more damage. And it's recently become the weapon of choice for Shades for PvM encounters. In fact, day one after 18.7 was patched, it was very hard to get a prisoner kill because there were just so many Shades here, all getting their second Mediblade. Because previous to that, it was, although dual wieldable, in other words, you could use one in each hand, you could only wear it in the right hand. Whereas now, of course, you can wear them in both. So what I'm doing here is checking that this prisoner hasn't sort of been pulled off his normal spawn spot. I don't think he does. I think even if you do pull him away from it, he will return to it if you don't kill him. But it's unusual there's no corpse at all. Just got the usual lower level mobs here. Ah, spoke too soon. I think he's just popped. There is a corpse. That's bizarre. So what's the timer? There's 15 minutes left on him. That's what you would use to upgrade a Mediblade and various other weapons that he can drop. They also drop two interesting pieces of armor. I think I'm using some on this character. So let's just take a look. Yeah, sturdy detention boots. And I've got them on just for the extra nano skills. He also drops a pair of boots which add to damage. I'm not sure if I've got them on this character or not. Ah, and he's popped. Okay, there he is, diseased prisoner. As you can see, he's got a lot of HP. He's only level 215, and he's not a problem for this keeper. So we're just going to wade right in. I'm going to zoom out just so I can and keep an eye halfways on my mini-map, just in case I see, you know, another player kind of come over and like, oh, you know, I need him as well. So I will speed this up because, to be honest, it's quite a long fight. Now, what might confuse you with this mission is you keep the talk to warden stains mission even once you picked up the kill the diseased one. which can confuse you a little bit. Worry not. Okay, and that's that portion of the mission done. So he hasn't dropped anything we want. These coloured orbs you see here are for upgrading cloaks. We don't really need one on this character, so we're not bothering with those. Now we want to get back, so we're just going to use our warp, or our beacon rather. And then before we go charging back to the clan mission center, we are going to talk to the warden again. So we need the second floor. And when the server realizes I've spoken to him, he offers us one of the gems we saw before. And there is a secondary quest which I already have, so I may do a video on what that is, but it's again rather long-winded. So we've done that, and as you can see we got 0 XP or SK for it. But not to worry. Now we go back to Old Athen and return to the mission center. And we return to the center room, and we rather curlishly say, "Can I have my reward now?" And that's it. There we go. 7 however million that is goes into the research. I'm currently, what am I on? I think I'm just finishing these two off on this guy, and that's it. That's a prisoner daily. It is long-winded if you're lowish damage or medium damage like a keeper is, although I will say their damage has gotten better since 18.7. So if you do have a keeper and you sort of thought, nah, not really what I want to play, they seem to be more defensive, etc. I don't think I've even bothered touching deflect yet, which is green for a keeper. I probably should, but I'm waiting until I do a complete reset and put all his alpha implants in. Okay folks, bye for now.